Hello. So today I've come up to the primrose garden because I want to put some bulbs in the garden, so when it comes to summer that there's a flurry of kind of flowers that grow as well as the crops and vegetables. I also want to put some herbs into the garden because last year I grew just vegetables here, other than the lavender, which really did kind of start growing but didn't really flourish, possibly because it was in its first year. But that's the only herb that I planted here other than the fennel, and the fennel looked amazing, and I found out it's a perennial, which is even better. So I'm going to cut that back today. It is a little bit rainy, but I'm not going to try and let that put me off because I want to get these into the ground today. So let me show you what I bought. So these are the bulbs that I bought from Wilkinson's. So firstly, this is the Rocket Sweet. Looks mainly like it's going to flower, which is why I bought it for the pollinators. So it should be really good. And then here we have got the garlic chives. So I love these. I mainly just grow them just for the flowers again, but you can use them in different cooking recipes as well. Then here we have got the tarragon, French tarragon. Love this in with some chicken or some fish. You can use it on either, absolutely fine, but something I haven't grown in the garden before. Here we have got the chamomile, and you can use this in tea and different varieties. Again, I've just mainly bought it for the flowers. And then lastly here we've got the chives. I love chives just to cut them up, and you can pop on salads and things, but again mainly for the flowers for the pollinators. These are some of the summer bulbs that I've bought. So they include some dahlias, and there's some other varieties of bulbs in there which look really nice for the summer months. And then finally, these are the seeds that I have bought. So I've got an iceberg lettuce. I love iceberg because it's really crunchy. I've also got the tomatoes, which I'm going to grow in the greenhouse in hanging baskets. And this is a tumbling tom. And then I've got my pumpkins, the jack-o'-lantern variety, and then also the Big Macs, which I will also come to at the end of the video. So that's what I bought. Don't you love going to Wilkinson's just for a little nose? And you never come out empty-handed, I find. I always find something I want to buy. Not good for the pocket, but it's good for the garden. So let's get these plants in. It's horrible out there. I can't actually see anything now, but I can't see anything out of my glasses either, and because it's all steamed up and whew, it's horrible. Hair must look like. So yes, so that's the 5 herbs that I bought, planted back into the ground. The ground is actually still really wet. Today's the only real day it's properly rained, but it's still really wet, so I'm actually not going to put these bulbs in today. Yeah, I'm not going to put them in today because, well, I don't know, it's just, it's really wet. It's clay soil as well, so I don't think it's a good idea to put the bulbs in. So I think I'm going to leave that for another day. But yes, quite a few things still growing. You can see, if I show you this area here, I've actually prepared this area here ready to sow the seeds on. So I've got my little seed trays up. The plan being that I'm going to sow a bit later, but hopefully get the seed sowing in the greenhouse. So that is the plan, hopefully, fingers crossed. So it's actually not been too bad in here. It's been the highest. This is actually in Fahrenheit. 1 minute. Let me just change that. So -4 degrees still, and maximum temperature 34, and at the minute it's saying 11.5 degrees in here, which isn't too bad because I think it's about 3.5 degrees outside. It's proper nippy. It's not nice at all. So yes, not good, not good. So I think what I'm going to do is save these definitely for another rainy day. One thing I ever bought from Wilkinson's, so I have problems with these, and I saw these in Wilkinson's, they're hostas, and I bought these for my garden because I do love them, but the snails love them a lot better than I do, and I've never actually successfully grown one. However, in the bag I am growing a hosta, so you never know, that one might be trying to make a bid for freedom. So fab. So I'm going to pop down the other plot now, absolutely soaking wet, covered in mud. I'm going to pop down there, take it down there in a bit. Righty, I am down at the other plot now. It's still really rainy here, but it doesn't have so much of a windy breeze as it does down the other plot, which is a lot nicer, so it's not so cold when the wind really picks up at the other plot, because there's no trees. So if you look here, let me spin you around here, there are houses and trees and literally going around, not too fast to make you dizzy, but there are houses and trees that stop the wind, and my plot is actually right down the back by those trees, so it gets a lot of shade in the summer, which is nice. It doesn't overheat. But yeah, so actually let's take you to my plot now. So coming around here, it's not too far from the car park, but it is quite far, so when I'm moving manure and things, it can be a bit challenging. One of the benefits of making your own compost, but there we go. So this is me. There we go. And as we get through, we are approaching my plot. Fab. So, let me show you around a couple of things that are growing. Literally just arrived, but it's looking really good. So look at this. So the shallots and the garlic. I'm pleased to say the garlic actually looks a lot more healthy here. You can see there's slight yellowing of the leaves, but not as much as down the other garden. And the shallots, wow, they are definitely really coming on now. I think I'm I planted these too low. Will at the Flying Gardener, he mentioned that I might have planted them a little bit too deep. And then here we have the herb garden with the pond. I've got a slight problem with the pond. As you can see, the pond this side is level, and then over here not level. But there are some flowers on the pond plants coming up, which is great. But the pond seems to have sunk. Now I know this bed isn't level, but I know I put the pond in level, so it's obviously sunk, which might be a bit of a problem, but we shall see what happens. So let's take a look in the greenhouse. Excuse me. There we go. Let's take a look in the greenhouse. So, as yet, not too much life, but we have got some seedlings, which is actually, we've got quite a few, but there are some still to come up. But yeah, on the whole, a little bit. And you can see the start, I think these were the broad beans. You can see they're starting to come up again here. That's looking good. I think I planted some radish here as well. Don't know where I planted the radish now. So, and then strawberries. These are just overwintered in the greenhouse, and yeah, they're not looking too bad either. So fab. So yeah, so I'm going to put some bulbs in. I'm not going to do it, as I say, today, because it's not very nice weather at all to put the bulbs in, and I really want them up the other plot, and as I say, it's clay soil. But one thing I would encourage you to do in your gardens would be to put some bulbs and flowers in, just so you get an early spring colour every year, and it just gets you in the mood. It gets you in the mood. So one thing I have been doing at home is sowing. So far at home I've sowed my peppers. Thank you very much, Ali, for sending these peppers to me. So Ali, My Rusty Garden, has sent me some peppers. So these are coming up really nicely now. Really pleased with the peppers. So thank you very much for sending them. And I've also sown some kaleets. So I sowed these about a week, 10 days ago, and they've not come up. So yes, they have not come up. So these are part of Will's challenge. So Will from the Flying Gardener, again, links to channels in the description. He has done a challenge this year, which is the Kaleet Crazy 2023. So if you haven't seen his Instagram, he has launched a challenge which launched on the 1st of March, but this, you can still join in it. It's absolutely fine. But as you see, I'm not winning it as yet because mine have not germinated. So Danny over at the Great Glam Garden, he has launched a Swede Beggar challenge, and it's whoever can grow the biggest Swede. So again, I'll put a link into his channel, but feel free to join in the challenge as well, to whoever can grow the biggest Swede. You'll take a look at his Instagram and you'll see a couple of the rules are there. But if you want to join in, you can. So on that note, I would like to launch my own challenge for 2023. I think it's a really good idea. I think it gets people in the mood for growing, and it certainly helped me put my mojo into gear. So I want to launch mine, and one of my favourite fun things in the winter is pumpkins. I love pumpkins. You can decorate them. Don't really eat them, but I do like pumpkin soup, and you can do a lot of things with them. So I would like to launch my pumpkin challenge. So here are the rules. Ideally sowing on the 1st of April, but if you sow it later, absolutely fine, no problems with that. And there's two varieties that you can grow. So you can either grow the big pumpkins if you've got room. Now I understand a lot of people don't have the room, that's absolutely fine. You can also grow the little Jack Be Little pumpkins as well. So you can grow Jack Be Little, and I think there's a variety, I grew it last year, I think they're called ghost pumpkins, but they're the tiny small pumpkins. So you can grow them. They're absolutely fine up a trellis, so you don't need a lot of room for those at all. You can leave them growing along the ground and put them in whenever you need to, up a trellis, or you can grow them over an archway. So there's various links out there that you can have a look at to grow pumpkins over an archway, but it's just an idea for those that don't have a lot of room. But if you want to go for the big challenge and grow one of the big pumpkins for Halloween, then there is the variety for the challenge as well, for the bigger pumpkins, decorated pumpkin. No prizes, just a little bit of a challenge right at the end. So that's the challenge, guys. Feel free to join in. I'm going to put it on Instagram, but it's going to be hashtag Emma's Pumpkin Challenge. But feel free to join in. So that's it. Thank you for joining me as ever. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, and especially watching and subscribing. It means the world to me. So take care, and I'll see you again. Bye for now.